Good afternoon. Welcome. You're watching Times Now. My name is Amita Vadva. First up, let's get you more information in this unfortunate crash that has now been reported of Saurya Air, the plane that has now crashed, and the information that is now coming across of this crash at the Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu in Nepal, where 19 passengers were said to be on board. And according to reports that have been suggesting that the incident occurred while the plane was taking off. You can see the visuals there as far as when this crash had occurred. This is the Saurya Airlines aircraft that crashed during takeoff at the Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu, and this has been reported as far as the country which has been hit by another plane crash. This is the Saurya Airlines aircraft that crashed during takeoff. As many as 19 people, including crew members, were said to be on board the plane that was bound for Pokhara, and this incident that happened at around 11 a.m. according to the TIA or the Tribhuvan International Airport, they have been reporting on the unfortunate plane crash that has been reported. With the police and the firefighters, you can see as they are trying to carry out rescue operations at the site. We have Priyank with us right now. Priyank, another plane crash being reported in Nepal.
Yes, certainly, and this unfortunate news is once again coming out from Nepal, and this incident has happened very close to the Tribhuvan International Airport, which is the international airport in Kathmandu. What we have got to know that this particular flight, which was a small aircraft, which was belonging to Saurya Airlines, took from the Tribhuvan International Airport, and soon after it took off, this crash happened. There were 19 people who were on board, including the airline staff, which include the pilots and all. 5 bodies have been taken out from this debris, which is near to the airport. This is what the local media has been reporting on. There could have been some technical failure because of which this incident happened or not. These will be the factors which will be known to us once the actual report will come out after the thorough investigation. But looking at the visuals, it's quite clear that there is no hope of any life which could have survived in this incident. There is no information regarding any injured who has been shifted to the hospital. The smoke was seen from a far distance because of this area being a hilly area, although the mountains are not too high. But this area, the individuals, the locals have seen immense amount of smoke coming out from this small aircraft, which took off from Nepal, Kathmandu for Pokhara. See, time and again, what the local media report have also been suggesting, and those passengers who have traveled in this particular route from Kathmandu to Pokhara, that the condition of these aircrafts are not up to the mark. This has been stated time and again, but somehow those airline carriers have always accepted this. What could have been the reason for this incident is yet to be known. But the rescue operation is still underway. There were 19 individuals who were on the flight. 5 charred bodies have already been taken out. And what reports have been suggesting that the number of casualties could be more.
Well, 19 people were said to be on board, including the crew members. And you can see as far as, did it happen the very moment that it was taking off, Priyank, inside the airport?
No, it's the crash has happened outside the airport, near to the airport premises. The Tribhuvan International Airport is surrounded by small plateaus, the small mountains, which is seen quite commonly in this area of Kathmandu. The moment the flight took off, after 30 to 40 seconds or almost 1 or 2 minutes, this crash happened, which is right behind, the crash spot is right behind the international airport, the Tribhuvan Airport, which is in Kathmandu. But what could have been the reason, whether the locals also saw it happening, whether the ATC also saw it happening, is something which is quite clearly seen in this incident, because the spot of the crash is very near to the airport. The rescue team members are still on the ground, but looking at the visuals which is coming out from Kathmandu, it is quite clear that the aircraft is looking totally charred. The parts of the aircraft are also looking charred. So the recovery of the injured is quite clearly not so much possible. This is what we can sense.
All right, we'll try to get more information as far as the passenger list is also concerned, because just a few hours ago, as we can report, Priyank, that this crash has taken place, but it was en route Pokhara, which is said to be a famous tourist destination as well. And multiple air crashes that have been unfortunately reported in the history of Nepal. We have Wing Commander Praful Bakshi with us as well. Sir, right now, unfortunate news coming in of another plane crash that has been reported in Kathmandu. We're still not clear as far as the passenger list is concerned, how many were tourists, how many were locals. But do you believe that such kind of crashes, is there any remote possibility of any survivor there?
Yes, there are some chances of survivors there, because the aircraft has crashed on takeoff. We have to now ascertain whether he lifted off the ground or settled down back, or he skidded off the ground and went into the shoulder of either a left or right shoulder. We have to find out at what stage of takeoff was it. Was it going to get airborne, or was it in the beginning of the run? It all will depend on that. But question is, survivors can be there, provided there's an alacrity in the rescue service, and the fire tenders and the ambulances work as per the SOPs. I think survivors should be there. Because I cannot visualize at the moment as to where the aircraft, in fact, which aircraft was it actually, that was also not very clear. And but what I personally feel, I feel they can be survivors. But
well, 19 people, passengers, including the crew, Praful Bakshi sir, it wouldn't have been a big aircraft, but obviously if it wasn't a new one, or someone which required a lot of maintenance, and something that we'll see according to reports, sir. 19 passengers would be a small one.
Yes, it is a 19-seater. It is a 19-seater, 20-seater aircraft. I can understand. But what I was trying to ask is that which proportion of the runway it has fallen? Has it fallen out of the perimeter, or it is within the perimeter? And this will ascertain what. And if you can show the visuals of the spread of the aircraft, then probably I can tell you exactly.
Them, sir. We are showing two pictures. One of the aircraft, the crash that happened, it apparently we are suggested, according to the report, sir, 30 to 40 seconds after takeoff, and it was right outside the periphery of the airport. So it is right, not inside the airport, not on the runway when it happened. It happened when the moment it reached outside the airport, upon 30 to 40 seconds after takeoff. On the right, we are showing also pictures, sir, of rescue operations that are being carried out. Initial reports have been suggesting that there have been bodies that have been found.
I can understand now, if it is outside the airport, it means it was airborne. When it was airborne, then the speed was more, the spread will be there, impact will be more, and that is what I'm trying to find out. Now it is clear that the aircraft has fallen out of the runway, then I personally feel the chances of survivor becomes less, much less. So this aspect you have to bear in mind, that what is the speed of the aircraft was, it was high. It was full takeoff speed, the undercarriage must have gone up 30 to 40 seconds after takeoff. It could be some distance away from the airport. So the rescue services would have taken time to reach. The rescue operations would have taken time. So all that, compounds towards the difficulties were faced by our rescue operations. So this is and bad weather was also there, of course, but accessibility to the place will be there. There will be water logging, etc. So all that aspect is also clear.
Because do you believe that it would be, when it comes to the investigation and the black box, by the time that it is recovered from the crash site? Yes. Because there you can see the pictures that are coming in. You have parts of the aircraft that are scattered all over, and there is a lot of amount of rescue operations that are being carried out, but it is completely charged, sir. The remains of the aircraft, whatever it is there, the rescue operations that are still being carried out, but whatever can be seen, it probably would have burst into flames, sir.
Yes, I personally feel that as you can make out, it must have burst into flame a distance away. Survival of chances are very, very less now. That is for sure.
Right, sir, because it's unfortunate. We are trying to ascertain as
No,
far
but,
as
but
the...
what you have said,
Yes, sir.
what you have asked about the black box is very important. Black box and cockpit voice recorder will tell you what the cause was. But that is a different thing. Yes, what the cause of the aircraft, was it an engine failure, was it because twin engine aircraft, engine failure, the other engine is also there until there's a massive fire on the aircraft or probably explosion of battery or something like that, which is not uncommon. So that could have been also, that could also be there. If that is a explosion of the battery, etc., then it becomes a little difficult, or fuel explosion which has taken place, or sabotage which cannot be ruled out. That also has to be looked into.
Yes, sir, because many factors that could be at play, because unfortunately in Nepal we have seen multiple air crashes and accidents that have taken place if you talk about the last 10 years alone. And as far as such kind of destinations, because these are tourist destinations, we have seen many of them who are tourists coming from different countries, and of course how beautiful the country is, but there are very difficult terrains as far as where these airports are built, sir.
Of course, you can tell me that because I've spent my childhood out there. I know very well the terrain is difficult. A lot of people come to as a tourist, all right. And this actually calls for a little bit of complaint, because more facilities should have been added, because Nepal is one of the very, very high density and a concentration of tourists which come out there. I personally feel there are more has to be done towards flight safety arrangements, etc. out there, and other aspects of selection of aircraft. Other aspects also has to be done. A lot of investigation will take place. A number of accidents we have taken in about the maximum time I've come on your television is on Nepal crashes. So I know very well that this aspect has to be taken, studied very seriously as to why the aviation services are getting a stepmotherly treatment out there. That's what I feel.
All right, let me go back to our reporter also once for more information, because this is a developing news story that we are talking about, Priyank. Very less information that is now trickling in, but any sort of response coming in from the airline? Shaurya Airlines is said to be the one that this aircraft belonged to. Any information with that, because the passengers and their families would have been very concerned about their well-off?
The official statement is yet to come out, but we have to look at the larger aspect of this, Amitabh, because Nepal ranks on the 12th rank in any plane crash incident which happened in any of the country. In 2023, January, there were 72 people who died in a flight, which was the flight which took off from the Kathmandu airport only, and 72 people died in this incident. If you look at the data, then certainly 13 domestic air crashes has happened in Kathmandu in the last 12 years, and on total, since the time this airport has been operating, 72 crashes has happened so far. So there is something majorly wrong which is there in the maintenance and the technical staff which is available at the airport, and the manner in which they have been treating the aircraft. The data itself shows that there was much which was needed to be done, and which is time and again coming out with this kind of casualty which is taking the life of so many individuals. But data are quite clear. 2015 March 4th, there was a Turkish Airlines aircraft which crashed in Kathmandu. Unfortunately, no loss of life happened. In 2018 March, there was another aircraft crash which happened in Kathmandu, where 51 people lost their life. This is what I'm talking with respect to the international airline. If we talk about the domestic airline, in 2000 January, the ATR 32, which was the Yeti Airlines in Pokhara, 72 people lost their life. Then move to the next. In 2022, May 29th, there was a Canadian aircraft which was also belonging to the Tata airline. 22 people lost their life. And the list is long. In 2016, on total, there were 25 people who lost their life. In 2017, 2 people. So what is wrong in the management system of Kathmandu's international airport is something which need to be taken into consideration very seriously. The manner in which people are losing their life, the aircraft maintenance, and other factors also is very important to be seen in this particular incident. So this is certainly yet another incident which has happened in Kathmandu at Tribhuvan International Airport, and the figures are clearly showing that most of these flights were en route to Pokhara. So,
absolutely, it's a popular resort town there in Nepal. If we talk about retired Air Marshal Sunil Nandurkar is also with us. Sir, unfortunate news that we are getting of another plane crash, sir, that has been reported in Nepal.
Yeah, I think in the news just now, while one of your guests was covering all the crashes, this is one of the airfields which requires all the necessary aids, particularly in the weather conditions that people are taking off and landing out there with hilly terrain all around the airfield. And, everything has to be properly marked, and all the necessary aids should be on board, and the pilots, that is the aircrew, should be trained thoroughly for operating from these airfields, unless that is ensured by all the airlines, because we are in the era where we have seen that company like Boeing has been taking shortcuts in the safety measures that are required to be taken. So if you generally see the aviation environment today, profitability has taken over safety. So that is one point I would like to reiterate through your media, that we have to seriously look at the cost of life, and of course the equipment is costly, there is no doubt about it, but the kind of lives that we are losing today in the air crashes, and this is one media of transportation that has to be 100% safe, then only people will use it to the extent that is being used today. And that is all that I would like to say looking at this crash today.
Right, sir. Thank you very much for your point of view, sir. Of course, concerns regarding safety, air safety is something that is very important. Bakshi, sir, would you want to also weigh in on this? Because when it comes to such kind of incidents, and this is the time when we need to reduce such kind of incidents, sir. This is a matter of lives that we are talking about. We don't want all of these individuals, passengers, unfortunately, who have lost their lives just to become a mere statistic.